There were a number of years there that I taught in Northeast Maryland, and as I was teaching, I would bump into some students who I actually never had in my classroom. And some of those kids I got to know really well, and some of those kids I just sort of knew from the periphery. This kid was one of those kids from the periphery. I don't know that I could pull him out of a lineup. I don't know that I could, if you lined up a whole bunch of students at the time and said, pick this kid out, I don't know that I could do it. But I knew of him and I knew his story a little bit, and I knew enough for my heart to be broken for him. And so Casey has asked me to speak for him. And if you know the story, as you listen, you'll know. Why now, Casey? You are willing and able to hear me. You will tell my story with compassion and kindness, not something I received a lot of when I was alive. And I also want my story to help others, as my story is all too common for someone like me. Why me? Ms. Beam, you might not know, but your name was synonymous with safe space. Kids who struggled knew you would champion them, protect them, and accept them. What message do you have for me? You don't see how special and brave you are. You don't see the importance for those who have passed and for those yet living who miss them. No one else is doing work like this yet, allowing us so much voice. Thank you. Casey, to be honest, thank you for trusting me with your story. And thank you for being a part of the team that helps train me for this work. What messages do you have for someone else? My mom. I feel like I was such a up. I was too scared to tell the truth. You were so unconditionally loving in some ways, but in others, it was hard to tell you who I was or what I was struggling with because you love me. I knew that, but you always took his side. I get it now. I get what that was like for you, watching everything, being on tiptoe, wondering what would set him off, trying to be protective of me and my sister. Now, I want to make a quick pause here and say, I don't know this kid well enough to know whether he had a sister or a brother. I sort of was like, I feel like there's a sibling in here, maybe a couple of siblings. And I sort of just took a coin toss. See, there it is. I took a coin toss, just like, I don't know. So if I have the wrong gender, it's not because I felt gender. I just felt being in sibling style. I know you love me. You never failed me. You never disappointed me. Not really, because I got it. You were scared and trying to protect us all. To my dad, I really only want to say, go off. But that won't give me peace. You're a bully and you're cruel. Your smallness and lack of ability to accept me as your son for who I am, it makes you a pathetic coward. But I also now see you with the eyes of the other side. I see your lessons. I see your contracts. I also see how you are failing. Your love of alcohol and ego is your undoing. My death broke you, but it didn't break you open and transform you. That was its intent. It didn't work yet. You let the truth about my being gay be the only factor that matters. Your shame in having such a son. Like I said, go F yourself. But there is still time for transformation if you let it. Mom should leave your sorry ass, but her fear is so big and you have killed all the spark and will in her. But let's be honest, my death did that too. She needs her transformation too. To my siblings, and those closest to me. And I actually heard the name Jeff. And then I also possibly heard that there were a couple of girls that were really close friends with him as well. Here's the thing. Everyone knew my shame story, even Beam. Everyone called me Duncan for my shame story, and I couldn't crawl out from under it. I would get asked about it 4 years later. It was everywhere and taking on legend status. I told Kim she can't tell it here, but she can tell it at live events, but not here. Here is where I say you are bigger than any story someone tells about you. You are more than your actions, good or bad. You are more than your worst day, and you are more than your most winning day ever. Be yourself. As someone who was crushed under judgment and ridicule, none of that shit matters. As someone who was terrified of who I wanted to date and who I was attracted to, being myself, loud and proud, was something I was supposed to learn in this life, and I guess I did. Only I got swallowed whole by the homophobic, racist, closed minded, unloving community we grew up in. It was too heavy. My shame was too big. I thought I was being brave by dying. Now I know the real bravery is in overcoming and declaring who you are. To hell with your father's wrath and judgment and a community that calls you a name that labels your biggest shame. Find a real way to create your dreams. My way was weak. I see that now. I dreamed of going to New York or LA where I could be out and open and free, only I never saw that was possible. Actually, only I never saw how that was possible. And the fear and shame swallowed me. To those closest to me, please do not let the fear and shame swallow you. Casey, do you have a gift for me? Besides my gratitude and awe at your bravery, know that even now, long after leaving teaching, those who were in the Kim Beam fan club still have your words of encouragement that you wrote in cards to them, that they remember what being in your presence felt like. They love you and knew you were there for them. Do you have a gift for someone else? To anyone who ever called me Duncan in a mean way, shamed me, belittled me, made me feel less than, or called me gay in the negative way, I let you go. I let your negative words and pain go. I forgive you and I release the ties those negative actions created. Though invisible, those bonds are real, and I cut them all and release you. Do you have a gift for yourself? This, speaking up, finally, through you, Beam, who I never had as a teacher, but I knew of you. And this moment, it's a gift to both of us, you and me. How do I help you get to the light? I don't feel I deserve it. I took my life, so I feel I don't deserve it. Casey, can I ask a couple of questions? Back when everyone called you Duncan, did you deserve love? Yes. Grace? Yes. Kindness? Yes. Acceptance? Yes. Do you deserve these things in death? And he said, absolutely. You asked to be released from this life, and it was allowed. Now, let's show you the light. Do you see it? He said, yes. How does it feel? And he said, like warm sunshine after a really cold day, like love and peace I've never known. Do you want that for your soul? And he said, yes. Will you move a little closer? I mean, you don't have to go in, just get a little closer. And he said, done. And I said, how does that feel? And I could hear him weeping. And he said, better. I said, do you want that for your healing? And he said, yes, yes. Know how you said you were a coward? Going into the light is brave. Will you go into the light? Will you be bold and brave? Like you encouraged your friends, like you encouraged those you love to follow their dreams? And he said, yes. Thanks, Beam. Thanks for creating this space of love and acceptance. And then Persephone came, and I saw her with her big red, like really curly hair, really big red curly hair. And she helped him walk to the light. And so if you're one of those people who's deeply close to Casey and you've wondered how he's doing, I hope this helps you just as much as it helps him.